All right, now after days of chaos in Thembisa, we return to the area. 4 people died and infrastructure was damaged when a service delivery protest spiraled out of control. Gauteng Cogta Human Settlements MEC Lebogang Maila and other senior officials as well as local councillors are expected to meet with residents. But Ekurhuleni Mayor Tanya Campbell remains a no-show. Pule Letshwiti-Jones has been following the story for us and joins us now. Good morning, Pule. What is the latest coming from Thembisa? Has the mood settled? Has calm been restored?
Yeah, well, there's a bit of calm that's been restored. In the early hours this morning, we saw that some of the residents were beginning to clean up, the streets and trying to ensure that everything goes back to normal. But just on my left-hand side, my colleagues are going to try and show you. Perhaps maybe let's begin by apologizing for the shaky voice. MEC, of course, has just arrived here to communicate and speak to some of the various stakeholders regarding this meeting and to see how they can pave a way forward in terms of resolving the issues that have been tabled by some of the residents here in Thembisa. Of course, which speak to the issue of the flat rate. They're also asking if they can directly purchase electricity from Eskom. And of course that the tariff of water and electricity just decrease, which can then be affordable for them. And they're hoping that perhaps maybe the MEC can have some sort of way for them today, as you will be joined by a delegation of councillors and some officials from the municipality. No word yet as to whether the mayor will be making a way here today or tomorrow, but hopefully we'll get those answers this morning.
Speaking of the mayor, Pule, what is the sentiment on the ground around her absence still? Because surely this would not look so good for her, because an MEC took the time to quickly come and address the residents here following the death of 4, but the mayor is still sticking to the Friday meeting at the very least. What is the sentiment on the ground? Are they okay with that?
Yeah, well, in local governance, response time is very important, and if there's issues on the ground, it's very important that you are, attending to those matters to ensure that you inspire confidence and that the, residents can believe and hope that there's a way forward in terms of what you would have been telling them when having to come up with solutions. But delay in response time is an issue, because then what that does, that residents on the ground think that you're not attending to their issues and that perhaps maybe you just don't care about what they want. And those are the sentiments that have been shared on the ground by some of the residents. They've been quite adamant that the mayor does not, give into consideration their concerns. I mean, you cannot come to Thembisa and only speak to a group of people and not largely address the crowds that are expecting, to speak to you. So we're told that on Friday, if this meeting does continue, she will have to be addressing the residents at a nearby stadium. We do understand that last week, I think 2 weeks ago last week, the mayor was supposed to come and address them, but that didn't happen. We only saw that there were a group of MMCs who came, and that further aggravated the residents and the anger that they had to say the mayor will not be coming. They continue to protest and of course bringing this township to its knees. So it'll be interesting to see what the MEC has to say, perhaps if he's communicated with the mayor to see what's the way forward and what are some of the solutions, long-term solutions they'll be putting to resolve this matter here on the ground.
Beyond the concerns around the water and electricity and how expensive or unaffordable it has become, what has been the sentiment of some of the residents there around the destruction from the past 2 days? Because we've seen a lot of leaders condemn the actions that they've seen. Nobody has shied away, including the MEC. He has said that there are clearly criminal elements in this, where everybody's just collectively condemning. What has been the sentiment on the ground? Are they disappointed with those that have burnt a municipal building?
Yeah, well, they are disappointed while others have condemned this. But, some residents are justifying this by a sense of anger, which is something the MMC spoke about yesterday, saying it seems as though this protest was hijacked by some criminal elements, and you alluding to the fact that there's a third force in this. How are the discussions going? Could we be seeing the mayor coming here soon?
Yeah, the mayor is supposed to be here as we are scheduled to meet with the MEC. But we are still of a view and maintaining that this thing has actually been hijacked. And I think we must be very clear in that it's being hijacked by the third force, and we are not We are not apologetic. We are clear that some of these issues are linked to the African National Congress, and we want to go deeper into seeing as to how much are they involved. And once we've then been able to establish that, we'll divulge all the information.
And Thembisa, that's a very strong allegation you're bringing up there. What patterns are you following in terms of working with the law enforcement agencies? What's linking you to the opposition party?
Well, most of these people that we have been engaging with, we are told they were part of the internal processes of the ANC. They failed through the internal process of the ANC, and as a result, they are fueling this. These are not confirmed issues, but that's what we're getting from the ground right now. Hence why we're saying we want to sit down with the MEC and engage further. And he must also come clear as to what is he going to assist us to sort out this mess, because there's a mess caused by his ANC government for the past 28 years. We are sitting here trying to sort out this mess, and they've been sitting down playing politics. We're not going to do that. From the community safety point of view, we have got these allegations. We will get to the bottom of it, but we want him to be on board.
I mean, these are lives of people you're playing with here. If you're suspecting maybe perhaps what one would call political sabotage at play, will you be opening a case once you have some, confirmed details around these allegations?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Our officers are on the ground right now to get to the bottom of this. And we are nearing the completion of this thing. And I'm telling you, once we have got all the details, we'll close in on them. All of those who are involved will actually have to answer before the law.
So you're saying this is political sabotage at play?
No, indeed, it's political sabotage, it's criminal activities in the very best. There's nothing that can justify people going out and touching council vehicles, 31 council vehicles, touching the customer care center of the municipality, the very same center that is there to assist communities of Thembisa to get all of their service delivery issues sorted, and you touch it down. It can never be linked to communities and residents of Ekurhuleni. It's pure criminal activities, and as I say, we suspect, and we'll get to the bottom of it, that there's a political element to it.
Will the mayor be making her way here today or tomorrow? What's the update? Because there was a bit of confusion as to she'll be accompanying the MEC today, but what's the latest?
Well, we're expecting the mayor to be here. As all MMC were told to be here by her yesterday to meet up with the MEC, so she should be here any time from now.
Are you expecting any crucial details from the MEC in terms of a way forward?
Well, that will be interesting to hear what he has to say. As I'm saying to you, we are where we are right now because of them and their government, and now they wanting to be playing politics. We need him to commit, and he must also come on record and commit and actually explain this matter to the people of Ekurhuleni, to say, especially this issue of the 100 units that communities are complaining about. It is not the multi-party coalition that has actually committed to this. It's just the compliance that is coming from Kokta, from the Minister of Kokta, Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma. So Lebogang Maile should know this and also be able to come out and tell the people of Ekurhuleni that this is mere compliance from the city of Ekurhuleni. It has got nothing to do with politics that ANC is painting out right now to say this multi-party government is now anti-poor and whatnot. We are complying to the national government.
Yesterday, I was speaking to my colleague Mfundo Mabalani regarding this issue. We're speaking to residents here who are saying they've been getting free electricity and water for some time, but then again now they're calling for flat rates, and they're saying that they want to have the electricity supply from Eskom directly. I know your portfolio is community safety, but when you're sitting on that MACO committee, are these calls that they're saying should be implemented viable? Are they feasible? Are they practical? Is it something this municipality can achieve?
Well, our MEC for Finance, MMC for Finance, Mr. Fayan Ngosi, have been on record to say that it's impossible. It cannot be possible. I'm sure you and I can agree to the fact that electricity issues is pay per usage. So if you're saying you're asking for a flat rate of 350 rand a month, who's then going to pay for the rest of the electricity that you are using? So it's, I don't see it happening, but I'll leave that to the relevant MMC to elaborate further. But from where we are as a multi-party government, it's impossible. You can't then be able to provide service delivery if you are to have the entire community of Thembisa paying a flat rate of 350 rand for electricity supply.
All right, just the last before you go. I know the protests have calmed down a bit, but can you still confirm that no arrests have been made and whether the death toll is still sitting at 4, and if there's any other reinforcement in terms of deployment being made here in the township?
Yeah, well, I'm yet to meet with the Chief of Police and his team to establish as to whether there's more arrests. But from where we are, we're still sitting at 4. And we also want to welcome the subs on the ground. They've actually increased their deployment here. So it's no longer only MPD, we've got subs, and we are certain that the streets of Thembisa will be claimed back by both the residents of Thembisa, by the way, including police officers on the ground.
And you haven't heard anything about taxi drivers allegedly shooting residents here to try to stop the strike?
No, that's news to me.
Thank you very much. That's Letshwiti-Jones, the MMC for Community Safety here in Ekurhuleni, just giving us an update in Fundo. Perhaps, quite interesting about what we spoke about yesterday in terms of are some of these, issues and that have been raised by community members something that the municipality can achieve, but